Welcome to Gene and Mike do the New York Times crossword.
Hi, I'm Jean.
And I'm Mike. And today we are doing the crossword for Friday, July 25th, 2025. So, did you find this crossword to be your cup of tea?
Well, it was a challenge. I guess I like a good challenge.
Good.
So, yeah, I would say so. What about you?
I thought it was great. I thought there were so many really interesting clues in this crossword.
Mm-hmm.
Just a really fascinating set of clues and answers.
Oh, well, I would concur with that.
Mhm.
Although there were several things that I did not know at all.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Fascinating.
And boy, I had a lot of trouble figuring them out. I was just throwing letters here, there, and everywhere trying to get that upper right corner finished.
Upper right?
Uh-huh.
Really?
Yes.
My issue was lower left.
No kidding. Well, I had plenty of trouble there too.
So let's look at upper right first.
Okay. Well, the major problem was 19 across. Like Queen Elizabeth, but not Queen Camilla.
Yes.
And the answer was regnant. How do you say that? Regnant? Regnant?
Well, I wanted to say reagent, but I believe that is the name of the chemical.
Yes.
Probably regnant would be my guess.
Like regal, yes. Regnant.
Right.
All right. I had no idea what that word was. And so I had gotten most of it except the third letter. And that crossed with 15 down. Solving Wordle in 5 guesses colloquially. And I had no idea what that was either. That turned out to be a bogey.
Yes.
I guess a sort of a golf analogy there.
Yeah, a bit above par.
But regnant, that kind of did me in there.
Mm-hmm.
But I looked it up after I solved it and finally figured out that a G belonged there. And it means that it is like a queen regnant is one that would be like a king, that they would have the power that a king would have. They would not just be, the spouse of the king like Camilla is, and even now, I mean, Queen Elizabeth didn't really, she didn't really have that much power, but she was considered, the reigning queen of the UK there.
Got it.
So that's the meaning. It means that they have that royal power on queen regnant on par with a king.
Or another way to describe it is the person who ends up on the stamp and on the coin.
Well, I suppose.
That's a simpler way. It's like, are they on the coin? They're regnant. If they're not on the coin and they still call themselves queen, they're not regnant.
Right. So anyway, that was good because I learned a new word there. So,
we didn't quite learn how to pronounce it. We are going to have to investigate that at some point.
Regnant makes sense because
I also want to
regal.
But I'm just worried that N is silent, that it might actually be regent. Oh wait, that's something at a university, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it is pronounced, it looks like regnant.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or possibly regnant. I never did quite figure out how to read these things here. Let's see.
Regnant.
Regnant, according to the Oxford Languages.
Oh, well, they would know. Regnant.
Right.
All right. Well, I was right the first time there.
And it means reigning.
Right. That they are a reigning monarch.
Yes.
One that actually has some power.
Okay. So just to be clear for all our listeners, it's regnant.
Regnant.
Ignore anything we said up until this point.
So that also crossed with 10 down, which I had absolutely no idea. D8 pieces in Dungeons and Dragons. Example. I'm like, good grief, I have no idea. It turned out to be octahedra.
Yes.
Which makes sense because they were giving you clues there. D8 pieces. So obviously they are 8-sided die.
And I knew that, and I might have had a letter or two but I thought, it's an octahedron. And so, but it was plural, so it was octahedra.
Right. So
we also had that O of octahedra came out of 9 across noted doomsday prepper Noah
Yes.
as a great clue.
It was, and I'm mad at myself that I didn't figure that out right away.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then 9 down, meat and potatoes, e.g. nouns.
Yeah, that
That
took
was
a while
brilliant.
too. That definitely took a while too.
Yeah, like I said, there's so many good clues here. I mean, right below that, 15 across, game played on a grass or dirt court was bocce.
Bocce ball.
Bocce?
Or bocce ball. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm.
We'll have to ask the regnant.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Well, and 12 down, that threw me for a loop. When squirrels may thermoregulate by spluting, and that turned out to be heat wave.
Yeah.
So
my thought was an old-fashioned phrase. Does your mother know you eat with that mouth? But it turns out that spluting is when they sort of throw themselves down on the ground.
yes, well, they spread out on all fours,
Right.
and on their bellies.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I think humans do that too sometimes.
Well, I know dogs do. So.
When humans are tanning, like at a beach, they might sploot.
They might sploot, yeah, when they're working on their back there. But yeah, so, I mean, there were just a lot of things in that corner I did not know.
Mhm.
I didn't know 17 across. Weird Al Yankovic's Straight Blank Linwood.
Right.
And I kind of thought it might be Outa, like it's supposed to be
straight
out of Compton. But I wasn't sure.
But it was.
It was, yes.
See, I confidently wrote down bogey for the solving Wordle in 5 guesses.
Oh.
And so, because I think the average is 4, right?
I have no idea.
Okay, mine is 3 or 4. I think probably 4 is probably my...
Oh, yeah, that's my most common.
Right, so one above would probably be a bogey, I think.
Birdie.
No, birdie would be one under par.
Yeah, one less would be a birdie, I guess. Uh-huh.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So
we had many other great clues, like, for instance, 5 down, shifty type, SLYBOOTS.
SLYBOOTS. I've never heard that.
What a great phrase.
I looked it up, and the definition was a sly person. So
I mean, you actually call them, it is plural, because I guess if you were sly, you'd be wearing 2 boots.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, hey, you SLYBOOTS, you.
I'm going to have to figure out how I can use that.
Yeah, well, first of all, you have to meet a shifty type.
Uh-huh, and then I'll say, you SLYBOOTS, you.
You should probably try and avoid them, though. They'll probably try and steal something from you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We had 18 across, attention magnet say was a celeb.
Right.
I thought that wasn't too hard, but it was still a great clue.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And then, let's see, 1 down, region of a plane bounded by a circle in geometry was a disc.
Yes.
It's like, whoa, okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Another fun clue was 23 across, fun to think about. TV program with its time of day and its name. And I'm like, well, that could be nightly news. I was just thinking of all kinds of words that the Today Show turned out to be the Late Show.
Yeah. See, I was thinking it was going to be an actual hour, like 6 o'clock news or something, but 'twas not the case.
No. Mm-hmm. But it is kind of interesting when you think about it. There's quite a few shows that have some form of marking time or time of day.
Well, it makes it easy to help people hone down when they should be listening or watching.
It's going to be on, yes. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
32 across was sort of disgusting. Harmless growth, skin tag.
Yes.
It's like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I liked a 43 across. Sheer quantity of awesome. Epicness.
Yes.
I'd not really thought of that as a word, epicness, but I guess it could be.
And now we're in the area of the crossword where I was having all sorts of problems.
Oh, uh-huh.
For instance, 56 across, heavenly figure in German was Engel.
Engel, yes.
Did you know that?
No.
Oh, okay.
But it makes sense. It looks like angel.
But I bet you did. Oh, that is true. Yes. Okay. But I bet you did know 44 down. Eponym of the AL Batting Title Award, Carew.
Carew, yeah.
And you knew how to spell it.
I knew how to spell it, yes.
See, I wrote down
Great baseball player.
I wrote, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I wrote down CAROU.
Oh, no.
And that messed up everything in that corner. Because, for example, 58 across, brood. I was like, okay, like a collection of chicks or something, but it was stew, that kind of brood.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so I had, at one point, 28 down, period satirized in Dr. Strangeglove. I had the atomic era.
Oh.
But it was the atomic age.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I lots of difficulty there, sort of. And then there were other places where I was very suspicious of my answer, but they all turned out to be correct.
Mm-hmm. One thing I'm sorry I didn't know, but it was 41 down. First color that babies can see after black and white, and that's red. I did not realize
How do they know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do you do a test with a baby? Okay, baby, what color is this? Red.
I don't know, but I'm sure child psychologists can figure out a way.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We had what is for me the perennial challenge, 38 down, 1970s How Catch'em TV series, and it was Columbo.
Yes.
And for me the issue is, how do you spell Columbo?
Oh.
Is it Columbo?
Yep.
Which that is the correct answer, as opposed to Colombo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The How Catch'em, that's an interesting word right there.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it's a How Catch'em.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, there were quite a few of those, I think, back in the 1970s.
Sure.
Yeah, quite a few private eyes and police stories and stuff.
But I think isn't it getting at something like, I mean, that was a detective series with, it had a great hook to it.
Yeah.
Listeners, if you get a chance, listen to the 2025 version of that, Poker Face, starring Natasha Lyonne. I may have mentioned that before. Great series.
Okay.
We had 49 across, shrub with a staghorn variety with sumac.
Right.
See, that didn't help me as I was trying to figure out if I needed a U or an O for Colombo, because sumac. I guess I did recognize sumac after a bit.
I would imagine. So, and this another one here that I thought, I know this. 47 down, world capital next to the Sarawat Mountains. And I didn't really know what it was, but I thought it's that one with the double A.
Yes.
That's been in the puzzle many times.
Mm-hmm.
Sanea. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but yes. So I got that one right away.
Good.
But that crossed with the last one, which I thought was kind of interesting, because you don't usually get these kinds of things in Friday puzzles. But it was abstain, as suggested by the black squares in this puzzle. It was almost like a little themelet. But the answer was teetotal. And the black squares in this particular puzzle were T's. They were shaped like T's, 3 black squares crossing with 3 other black squares to make it look like a T. And they were just sort of scattered all over the puzzle.
Yep.
And I thought that was rather interesting. But for a Friday, we don't usually get little incidentals like that.
Right. And we should point out that teetotal is spelled T-E-E total.
Right. Mm-hmm. Instead of T-E-A.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that must have been, I mean, they had to have decided on the shape of the grid first.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Can't even imagine.
T's in there and then build around them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 33 down. That was interesting. German-based supermarket with about 2,500 stores in the U.S. Aldi.
Yep.
I bet you got that right away.
I got that right away. Yeah.
I somehow knew that Aldi was a quote-unquote foreign supermarket. Mm-hmm. And I checked, there's one like 2 miles away from here.
Mm-hmm. Yes, there is.
So they're everywhere.
I go buy it every day to work.
Yes. And 23 down, rough digs was lean-tos. Mm-hmm. I thought that was interesting. Mm-hmm. And did you know 29 down, the antibacterial product introduced in 1948, Dial soap?
Well, I've certainly heard of Dial soap and used it plenty of times.
Good.
I didn't know that history of it. But, mm-hmm.
1948. All right. Well, this was, I thought, a really great crossword.
Oh, yeah. I enjoyed it.
It was by Fritz Junke. Mm-hmm. It was a debut.
Wow.
He debuts on a Friday.
Whoa, that's cool.
So, well done, Fritz.
Yeah.
That is it for the crossword, but it's Friday.
Yes, it is.
Which means it's time for Fun Fact Friday. And I genuinely hope that you have a fun fact for Fun Fact Friday. Excellent.
I do. It's one I could just go on and on about because there's tons of information about this, and it was something I had never heard of.
Okay.
And it was back on Sunday, the very first clue, one across, the small screen's second golden age, informally, was called peak TV.
Mm.
And I was just curious as to why they called it peak TV. But I found out that it actually was the period between the early, or maybe the late 1990s, early 2000s, up until 2023. So it's over. It was over 2 years ago. But that was called the golden age of television, or peak TV, or sometimes prestige TV.
Have they watched television lately? I don't think it's over. Come on, they had Murderbot. How can peak TV be over with Murderbot?
It was interesting because, of course, the golden age of television was like the 1950s. They considered that, the 1950s
Sure.
and early 1960s, as it was just getting a foothold in American homes. They considered that the golden age of television. It was the beginning. And there were a lot of, very interesting shows, but, they were all interesting, I think, for the people back then, because it was like, television, what is this? It's brand new. But anyway, so this was kind of the second golden age of television, or the new second, or sometimes they called it the third golden age of television. It had so many different names, but it is believed that this one was resulting from advances in media distribution technology, digital TV technology like HDTV, online video platforms, TV streaming, video on demand, and web TV, and a large increase in the number of hours available to watch television, which is true. I mean, you could watch it all day and all night. And, when I was growing up, it all kind of went off on, after the nightly news, and then there might be a movie, and then nothing until 6:37 in the morning. So anyway, some of the television shows that were considered part of this new golden age of television, the list goes on and on and on. And in fact, there's one site that I think lists every last television show that was produced between the late 1990s and the early 2020s.
All right, you have 30 seconds. Go.
I'm just going to list a few.
Yes.
Sex and the City, The Sopranos. The Sopranos was named the greatest TV show of all time by TV Guide. I never watched it, but
I don't read TV Guide, but okay.
The West Wing, 6 Feet Under, 24. The Wire. The Wire was voted the greatest TV show of the 21st century by the BBC. Deadwood, The Shield, Battlestar Galactica, Grey's Anatomy, Friday Night Lights, Mad Men. Mad Men was mentioned many times. Breaking Bad, The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, House of Cards, Orange is the New Black, and Better Call Saul. But the list goes on.
Yes.
Now, some people think that it's actually started in 1994 with the television show Friends. That was just kind of a turning point in television. But most people say, no, it really didn't start until the early 2000s. And of course, some of the other people who have written on this felt that the advances in media distribution technology, digital TV technology, I read that, but it just created this big wave of content creation.
Yeah, yes.
And, and there's just so many shows to choose from.
I'm just exhausted trying to keep up.
And they were giving some numbers, and now I can't find them. I should have written these down better. Oh, here it is. In 2002, there were 182 television shows aired. By 2016, there were 455, and by 2018, 495. And so now there's well over 500 shows that you can watch. And that's mostly because of Amazon Video, Hulu, Netflix, all of these new streaming services, Apple TV.
Yay.
And they did mention Apple TV as being a really great part of this
Absolutely.
because they were the first really TV movie to win the best Oscar with their movie Coda.
Oh.
It won the best Oscar a couple of years ago, and it was an Apple TV production.
I'm not surprised.
And it beat another one that was a Netflix production, The Power of the Dog.
When did Stranger Things win? Never mind.
No, it's not a movie. That's still a serial.
Sure.
But it too was mentioned. There were many shows mentioned as part of this golden age. And that was another one.
Okay.
But Mad Men and Sopranos, those seem to be on everybody's site that they're like, these are examples of the golden.
And this is all
peak TV.
Peak TV. Mm-hmm. Wow.
So there you go. That's what peak TV is.
You've definitely piqued my interest. We hope that's the same for everyone else listening. Mm-hmm. And feel free to drop us a line and let us know what your favorite peak TV series is. Crosswordpodcast at iCloud.com. That is it for today. The hardest crossword of the week is about to drop.
Yep.
We're going to tackle it. Hope you will too. And we'll be back to talk about that crossword tomorrow.
Bye-bye.